Hey guys, I'm making this video to show you how you can, at home, by ordering the individual parts, light the interior of your gun safe. I've put together a document. I'll put it in the link. It'll either be on a Google Drive or maybe Google Docs. I don't think YouTube will let me put that much text in the description, so there should be a link to something that you can actually look at with links on where I got my specific parts list at. So let me get this open. Now I've already emptied the safe out of most of the things to kind of give you a better idea of how I routed stuff, because that bottom's pretty much loaded up with ammo cans when it's full, and of course that section. So let's see, I got my little trusty paper here. First item on there I mentioned is the motion sensor, which you saw kick on when I opened the door. It's called a PIR-8, and that's where I mounted mine. To give you an idea of its size, it's pretty small. So in my description I say it's about the size of a couple of Zippos, but it's more like one Zippo, the small style. So about 2 1/4 inches wide, minus the mounting tabs. It's relatively shallow, about an inch. You'll notice the green block up there where you bind all your wires. That's removable. You can slide it out. Underneath, I don't know if I can get in there, there's a little set knob that you use a little screwdriver for. It's marked 1 through 10. I found that leaving it all the way down at the 1 setting works the best, turns the lights off the quickest, and it basically how it works is the timer. As long as it doesn't detect you or another person, it will shut itself down in that given time. But if you're doing things at the safe, you know, moving things in and out or what have you, obviously it's still detecting motion, and the timer doesn't start until the last motion is detected, so it doesn't go off. And then all the way up is about 10 minutes. All the way down I found it's about 1 minute 50 seconds roughly. That's as quick as it'll go, at least in my experience. That's rated at 8 amps. Basically you have 4 terminals. 2 of them are your input from your power supply, and 2 of them are outputs for all of your LED strips. Alright, so the next item is the 5050 SMD waterproof LED strips. I provided a link for that as well. I use 10 meters instead of 5, how they come as a base. They come in a bag like so, on a spool, and you can take off as much as you need to do your install. Here's a piece right here. Now if you notice, it's completely coated with like a silicone type of clear coating on it, and then on the back it's got a 3M adhesive. Peel it and stick it. Now you can see there's some copper landings there. Those pads are your cut points. I don't know if this will focus on that, but there's a little scissor icon in between the copper pads there. They're also polarity marked on the very edge of the white backing strip. It'll have positive and negative, so you won't get your polarities mixed up. Pretty small stuff. 10 meters worked on this safe. This safe is 20 inches deep, 40 inches wide, 59 inches high, and I wanted to saturate it with a lot of light. It looks like the video is going to show it bluish, but it's not. It's about 5000 K instead of 6000. It's very, very white. Next item, let's see, would be the 2-wire extension cable. Now, my instructions are for soldering. There are clips that you can use. This is the wire. It's pretty small, and the reason I went with this is because it will tuck when you route it. As you can see, that none of that's mounted to the shelf. The shelf's kind of heavy with all the stuff up there, but it tucks for me into that gap, and when you're looking into the safe you can't see it. It goes all the way down. My instructions also presume that you have power in your case or in your gun safe. Mine came with it. If you've managed to get power into it, that's great. This is your power supply. It's 5 amp. Some extra clips for the shelves. And then I ran with the zip ties I mentioned on there, which are these bad boys. These have a hole on the end of them, so you can use a screw to mount that once it's clipped to length around your wire bundles. And you use that to bring all of your wire out to your sensor, including your input from the power supply and all the outputs to the individual strips. Keep it nice and neat, nothing's in the way, nothing to get snagged on your gear when you're pulling in or out of this out of the case here, or the gun safe. The silicone clips I mentioned are these little guys. They're just little rubbery clips that you can take and run a couple screws through. You can't run them all the way tight, but you can run them kind of snug against the hole. Otherwise, I mean, they're pretty pliable. They'll snap, or they'll pop right over the top of a panhead screw. So get you some of those. I got them just in case the backing decided to give away. As you can see, there's little clips about every, I don't know, 6 inches or so on the ones that are suspended along the top of the case, under the shelves. And then I have one under the rack. I don't use it as a gun rack, obviously. That's why I have all these extra shelves here. For the vertical runs along the interior of the door frame, I just used the same cable ties along with the backing. Let me see if I can get in here. So that's the inside of the door frame. And up top, you can see I've got them all the way into the corner. And then that wire I use just to solder to the pads, right, make one continuous loop. And then also along in the bottom, so there's the bottom of your case running along with the goldenrod gun savers. And it all routes over here, but you can keep all the wires hidden and get them all up to your deal there, so that the motion sensor will kick everything on and off. Don't think I'm missing a whole lot of other information on here. It's pretty self-explanatory when you get started. The screws that I used are these little guys here, little panhead wood screws. Most of your gun cabinets are going to be lined with like a sheetrock underneath that felt, so something coarse threaded. You don't want to use a machine screw. These are a 1/2 inch long, pretty small, and they actually worked out real well to mount everything. The cable ties and the little silicone clips. Looks like that's about it. The actual process, if you have an established gun safe, you're gonna pull that all apart, take everything out of it, start measuring, make sure everything is shelf wise where you want it to go, obviously, before you start mounting and cutting and attaching power and all that good stuff. So anyway, look for the parts list. It's a better description on there. Hope it all helps. Enjoy.